see you again.
Good morning.
We got this kicked off.
It's not a word I would use necessarily, but I'm excited for the start of 2014. I think we got a lot accomplished in terms of 2013. We've got more work to do. The world feels like it's becoming a better place, and I'm excited about our position in it.
If there's one word that you right now, what would it be?
We're focused. We've got the right strategy. We've got the right business model. We've got terrific people, and it's just about executing on behalf of our customers and clients.
Hang on one second. A year ago, we sat here, and I asked you more or less the same question, and you gave me more or less the same answer.
Again, I think we've got the right business model. We've got the right strategy. The world's becoming a better place. And again, it's up to us to make sure we're doing the right things. We've got the resources. We've built capital. We have liquidity. We've got the right business mix. We've got a unique business model coming to work in 100 countries every day. It's tough to replicate. Our competitors don't have those things.
What is unique? People need a little more depth.
Well, I think we've got the combination of breadth and depth. You know, when you look at our businesses, we operate in 100 countries, but in those countries, in many, we operate both institutional and consumer businesses. And in our institutional business, it's the full range of products from investment banking through sales and trading to transaction services all the way to our private bank. And in our consumer bank, it's the same. It's cards. It's retail banking. You know, it's all the pieces that come together. In many places, it's mortgages. So it's not just the breadth.
Where execution alone.
When we look at execution, you've got to, maybe we need to drill a bit beyond that. That execution has various phases to it.
Okay.
So what we focused on last year when we came in, you and I sat here and you said, Mike, what are you going to focus on? I said, we've announced a significant repositioning. We need to get some costs out of the company. We need to become more competitive. A year later, we've taken those $900 million of costs out of the company we talked about. We need to get some businesses right-sized, right? And so we went through a series. You saw us restructuring different businesses around the company to get them more competitive. And I think as you saw our results throughout the course of the year, I think you saw the benefits of those things. And I think it's more of those things.
How difficult?
You know, when you go back and you look at rate transitions, they're never smooth, right? And I think we actually, as a world, go into this one probably a bit better than we have historically. And again, we got to remember that taper is actually a taper. It's not tightening. It's actually removing what was put in some ways, as excess looks.
When this is truly unprecedented.
It is unprecedented. It is. I think, you know, when you look at why are we beginning the taper? It's because, as I described earlier, the world, and in particular the U.S., is becoming a better place. So if you're extracting that excess liquidity as the rest of the economy, that powerful engine's coming behind it, it should create for a better transition.
Does Citi, on the one hand, adversely affected by the Fed's withdrawal of liquidity? And
look at growth, right? We're probably going to see 2.6, 2.7 growth in the U.S. this year, up a bit. You look at the emerging markets.
So you're not in the 3% camp?
It could trend up towards that. You know, our own belief is probably somewhere around 2.6, 2.7. Overall global growth probably around 3.25. And so developed markets at 2%, with Europe recovering, emerging markets at 5%. So we're going to see growth in the emerging markets still at more than twice the rate of the developed markets. And so when you think of the mix of our franchise, having big presences in the U.S. and in Europe, but again in other places around the world, we've got the balance of that.
But what about the current?
Clearly, over the course of the summer, we identified what were the Fragile Five. And what do the Fragile Five have in common? They've got current account deficits. But I think as we go into this, we're going in as a world where we've got countries with much stronger foreign exchange reserves. We've got floating rate exchange rate mechanisms that are there. And so I think the world's better positioned for that.
Mike, how important?
We don't put ourselves out there and talk about, you know, just being a universal bank. We want to make sure we're there positioned against what our customers and clients want to do.
Because there's two ways of, I mean,
as we look at the industry, and certainly from our perspective, we're not going to be, we shouldn't be. People shouldn't want us to be everything to everyone.
Really?
And so,
because that's not what
pretty significant transformation of our company, really taking our company back to its roots of being a global bank, and the things that come with that, and the things that we can do on behalf of our customers and clients. And so when you look at the exit out of the asset management business, or a lot of the things that we shed as part of Citi Holdings, those $700–800 billion of non-core assets, those were things that didn't fit with really who we are and who we want to be.
Is there anything out in 2014, or are you close to being done there?
You know, I think what we did this year, Eric, is in March, we introduced a series of metrics so that people publicly could view what we wanted to do. And we wanted to create the balance. And one of the things we put out there was an efficiency ratio. Per dollar of revenue, what are we going to spend to earn that? And we put targets out there, and I want the balance. I want the balance of growing revenue and cutting expense, and we've got to make sure that we create the right incentives in each direction.
I love balance.
Probably in the past year or so, quite a bit. You know, work-life balance, family, you got to have things outside of work. You know, work can't consume every minute, every hour of your life. And, you know, you see it when you come to work with a healthy attitude, when you've got other interests, when you maybe get the ability to get some exercise. It clears your head.
And what about for your employees?
Oh, it's the same.
Do you feel as though...
We've got to have balance. I mean, you can see it in people's productivity. You can see it in the way they come to work. You want them, you know, you want them in a healthy state of mind.
Have you ever given any thought to...
I think it depends on the job and the pace of the job, the stress of the job, kind of what that job is. So I would say it varies by what we're asking people to do.
Mike, great to see you here, and thank you very much for taking time out for me here at the World Economic Forum. Anna Mark.